April is finally upon us, and while there are a couple of big-name titles on the horizon, this is a month that will actually see a higher number of interesting indie releases for the gaming world, particularly in the Metroidvania department. You're going to want to know about these upcoming gems that aspire to outshine their big-budget competitors, so here are 5 under-the-radar games coming out in April that nobody is talking about. Curse of the Sea Rats is a 2D Metroidvania platforming adventure game that follows 4 prisoners of the British Empire who have been transformed into rats by the notorious pirate witch Flora Byrne. In order to regain your human bodies, you will have to go toe-to-toe against dangerous bosses as you uncover the secrets of the vast Irish coast on a mission to capture the witch who cursed you. You can expect most of the standard Metroidvania gameplay elements to be present here, but there are a few tweaks to the formula that add an interesting wrinkle to the final product. Instead of a single protagonist, you've got 4 characters with independent playstyles and dedicated skill trees to focus on, and there's even support for up to 4-player couch co-op, although there does not appear to be support for online co-op. The meticulously realized hand-drawn animation floods the viewer with a wave of nostalgia that harkens back to the golden age of Saturday morning cartoons. This is the first title from Patoon Studio, a Barcelona dev team that focuses on family-friendly interactive entertainment, so this could be a good chance to give your kid or a younger sibling a controller to help you out. Curse of the Sea Rats releases on April 6, 2023 on all major platforms, and it will retail for $39.99 at launch. If Metroidvania is your thing and you love a good couch co-op experience, this new endeavor could be the game for you. Protodroid Delta is a 3D platformer set in a world labeled as Solarpunk, a hopeful vision of the future where advanced technology works in harmony with nature. You play as Delta, a protodroid who was created to show us the promise of what AI can become, but an attack on her creator's lab forces her to enable her combat subroutines and use her abilities to defend the land of Radia from a dangerous group known as the Vipers. Heavily inspired by the Mega Man X franchise, this game will allow you to tackle the bosses known as Viper Masters in any order you wish, and as you defeat them one by one, you'll take on new abilities that will aid you in battle against the rest of the Viper gang. It's surprising how reminiscent of Mega Man the gameplay looks, considering it has been adapted to fit a 3D environment, and the visual style somehow calls back to that wonderful era of platforming while still feeling fresh and current. You'd never guess from the impressive trailer that this is the first commercial release from a solo developer named Adam Kareem, an up-and-coming creator who got his start with Sonic and Mega Man fan games and a recipient of the Humble Games Black Game Developer Fund. Protodroid Delta will release on April 27, 2023 on all major platforms, so if you loved Mega Man X and you've ever wondered how something like that would play in 3D, this could certainly be one to watch. Afterimage is a 2D Metroidvania action-adventure game that follows Renee, a young girl from the land of Ingarden. Years after a cataclysm known as the Raising nearly brought an end to human civilization, a new threat has emerged to target the last settlements of mankind, and it's up to you to save this final bastion of humanity from certain doom. You'll traverse a non-linear world as you confront and seek to defeat the Goliaths that have reclaimed your land, and as you do, you'll unlock new skills and abilities that will grant you access to previously unseen areas and enemies. The most notable aspect to this new title is the stunning anime-inspired hand-drawn visual style, which Nintendo Life went as far as to name the most beautiful Metroidvania ever. I think the Ori series would have something to say about that, but there's no denying that the animation is breathtaking, and it looks like this will ship with most of the other elements that make Metroidvania such a blast to play. This comes to us from Aragon Shanghai, a Chinese development team that has been working on small international titles like the Gujian series since 2007, but this is their first attempt to win over Western audiences with something more accessible. Afterimage releases on April 25th, 2023 on all major platforms, so get ready to dive in if you're a fan of the art style and you love getting lost in a good Metroidvania. Bramble the Mountain King is a dark fantasy 3D adventure game set in a magical world inspired by Nordic fables. You'll take on the role of Ollie as he sets off to rescue his sister from the giant troll who kidnapped her, and on the way you'll brave unspeakable dangers brought on by a litany of horrid creatures that seek your destruction. You might guess by the tone of the trailers that you're in for a Limbo or Little Nightmares kind of experience, but you'd largely be mistaken. There are similarities in the way your child protagonist is lost in a fairy tale style world with surprisingly mature themes and brutal death sequences should you fail, but this subgenre is usually driven by puzzle solving. In Bramble, it appears your success will mostly be determined by way of platforming challenges, and while there doesn't appear to be traditional combat per se, you will be defeating bosses in creative ways by passing skill checks that will test the limits of your dexterity. This is coming to us from Dimfrost Studio, a small Swedish team who has released one short indie title before this, but now they're swinging for the fences with a much more ambitious project. Bramble the Mountain King will release on April 27th, 2023 on all major platforms, and it will retail retail for $34.99 at launch, so if you like the idea of a dark folktale come to life that's dripping with suspense, this has the potential to be worth your time. The Last Case of Benedict Fox is a 2D Lovecraftian Metroidvania mystery game set in a huge, decrepit mansion that also happens to be a crime scene involving a young couple's grisly murder and the disappearance of their child. Bound to your brooding demon companion, it's your job as the title character to uncover the secrets hidden within the enormous home by exploring the decaying memories of the recently deceased, and as your adventure unfolds, you'll delve into a world of secret organizations and forbidden rituals that will gradually reveal new aspects of the story. The game's visual inspirations are as clear as they are varied, with nods to everything from Tim Burton to film noir and even early 20th century jazz. While this coming month will be chock full of interesting Metroidvania experiences, none takes so bold an approach to the subgenre with such a confident new take on character building, fresh puzzle-solving mechanics, and impressive art and sound design. This will be released by Plot Twist, a mid-sized Polish team that has worked on a couple of small titles before, but nothing approaching the scope of this newest adventure. The Last Case of Benedict Fox will release on April 27th, 2023 for the PC and the Xbox Series X and S, and it will also be coming to Game Pass on day one. Of all the games releasing to little fanfare in April, this looks like the one that most deserves its day in the limelight. That was 5 under-the-radar games coming out this April that nobody is talking about. Which games will you be playing at launch? Let me know in the comments what you're most looking forward to, and be sure to subscribe for more gaming news and all kinds of other gaming content. Thanks for watching!